Hi there. You've ever heard the term control freak? Or people who like to be in control? The freaks are the ones who are one end of a continuum, but if you think about it, we all like to think that we're in control of something or another in our life. One of the lessons of this week's Parsha is that perhaps this isn't really true, and that's what I want to talk about today. The beginning of this week's Parsha, Parshat Pikudei, opens up with an accounting of the half coins that were collected by Moshe at the beginning of Parshat Kitisa, which was a couple weeks ago. Very interestingly, the way that Moshe counted the people was how? Every person between the age of 20 and 60 was meant to give a half a coin, or a coin that was worth a half a shekel. So what do? You add up all the half shekalim together, you multiply by 2, and it gives you your sum. It gives you the total. So if you have 100 people, each giving a half, your sum is 50. You multiply by 2, you get 100. Very, very strange way to count. Normally, when you want to count something, you want to count whole units. So why exactly is it that Moshe counted the people using a half unit? And this is a question that many commentaries comment on, and I'd like to share one approach with you today. To share this approach, though, we need to do one thing, and that is we need to think about what was the purpose of the coins, or in what way were the coins used. And that, of course, is said, or taught to us at the beginning of this week's Parsha, and that is that they were used in the construction of the Mishkan. Okay, wonderful. So they're used in the construction of the Mishkan. How does it answer our question? There's a fascinating midrash that details a discussion, dialogue between God and Moshe. God says to Moshe, do me a favor, Moshe. I want you to build for me a Mishkan, a tabernacle, a temple, and I will dwell in it. I will dwell amongst you in it. And Moshe says to God, what am I? I'm a human being. What can I do? What can I accomplish? How can I build a structure that will contain you, or that's fit for you to rest your presence there? And God says, you know what, you're right. You can't. The only thing you can do is the best you possibly can. And I will aid you after that. If you do it because it's my will and you have the right intention in mind, then the result will be that I will aid you in your quest and I will indeed dwell amongst you. This is the lesson of the half shekel. God tells Moshe, collect them. Collect the people. Count the people by collecting. Count them by them donating a half a shekel towards the Mishkan. Why? Because they are not a whole unit on their own. They cannot accomplish everything on their own. If they have the right intention in mind, then I will help them. And this is the lesson that's learned in Pirkei Avot, where it says, Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. The work is not upon you to complete. Of course, the end of that sentence is, V'lo ata ben chorin lihibatel mimena. You're not free. You still have to put your best foot forward. You have to try your best. The trick is you focus on the process. You're not in control. You aren't in control of the content. You are not in control of the outcome. The best you can do, though, is focus on the process and do the best you can. With that, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. And I want to wish you an understanding that we are not in control, but if we have God's will in mind and we have good intentions, and we go through the process in the best possible way, then God will indeed aid us. May God help us.